guys, I'm Miranda.
And I'm Seth.
And we're your main geeks. Today we have for you sketch cover extravaganza. I know in quite a few of our videos we've mentioned to you guys, about how we like to go to Comic-Cons and get sketch covers. And I know some of you guys have been interested to see, some of the stuff in our collection that we talk about.
Yeah, so we put together a few of our favorites today that we've gotten from cons, from the artists there, and we're just excited to share a little bit of, kind of the things that we've collected over the years that we think that you guys will like. So
we hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah,
so we've got them kind of grouped. So we're going to start here. This is probably
one of your favorites.
My favorite sketch cover and one of my most prized possessions, really. This is a Babs Tarr sketch cover. Yeah, if you can get it closer there. Babs Tarr is one of my favorite current artists. I think her work is so brilliant, and it's very different from, a lot of the stuff in the, a lot of the different stuff in comics today.
Very stylized.
She's very stylized. She's, taken a different approach to Batgirl, made her more modern, and
it's cool. She's got like the gauged ears.
Yeah, she's got gauged ears. She's got kind of like a hip costume.
Kind of got like that, almost like punk rock kind of mentality look, and yeah.
But we got the chance to meet Babs Tarr in September on our honeymoon.
It was really cool.
She came to a con that we go to in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
And I never thought I would get to meet her. I always see her doing the bigger cons. And they announced that they were going to have her, and we were like, we have to go.
Yes.
We have to, meet her. And I was lucky enough to get this sketch cover. She's very busy, and she was only doing 2 sketch covers. A lot of times at Comic-Con, she does very limited stuff because she's very busy.
She's busy really quick, like... I think if you don't get to her between, a few hours, she's like, I'm kind of booked for the weekend. There's only so many sketch covers you can do in a weekend, so.
And she's been doing a lot of, her Batgirl run has ended, but she now has her own book, Moto Crush. She does a lot of variant covers for the different titles. Mm-hmm. So I was really fortunate to be able to get that.
Yeah.
Next, we have this really sweet... Deadpool cover. This is done by Declan Shively. He
works on the Deadpool.
He works on the Deadpool book. He also worked on the newest Moon Knight.
Yep.
Series that came out. I think last year it came out.
Super nice guy. He's, I believe, I'm not sure which of the countries he's from, but he's got the either like Irish or Scottish accent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I think it was Ireland that he's from, but super nice guy. Took the time to talk with us, even when we're like, we don't want to, bother you. He's like, oh no. He was talking to us for a while, and super cool sketch. I love the style. It's a little frantic. I'll show it one more time. It's I love the background. Just very frantic, kind of almost like watercolory.
Which
version.
Totally matches Deadpool's, kind of style.
So, super cool. The next group we have 3 comics from one of our favorite local artists.
Yes. His name is Ben Bishop. Yep. He is from Maine, but he's done some amazing work.
Yeah.
He in 2011 he illustrated a graphic novel called Lost Trail, 9 Days in the Wilderness, and it was a
like an
graphic novel adaptation of Don Felder's Lost on a Mountain in Maine, which is a famous true story and a book.
Which up here in grade school, it's almost kind of like required reading. I think like every kid has read Lost on a Mountain in Maine, so it's really a neat honor for him to be able to do that. And he's on the rise. I mean, his artwork is absolutely amazing. Wait till you see some of these.
He's but doing the illustration on that book, it was an award-winning book, and that helped him actually be able to do illustrations for IDW, Nickelodeon, and Hasbro, just to name a few.
Yeah, he's done some of the Turtles variant covers.
Yes, some of the Turtles variant covers. He does cons all over the U.S.
Yeah, he actually, I think he went out to San Diego this year.
He did last year, I think he went out to San Diego. He just travels all over.
Yeah. So the first one we'll show is, I had an idea. I was like, in honor of the Dark Knight 3 revival, when they kind of brought back that storyline. I think it was last year or the year before.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want a grisly looking, just beat up Batman that looks like he's been through it all. So he drew this for me. I think it's so cool.
There's you can see it's mostly black and white, and then he did some blood and red, so it's almost kind of like the same feel as like Sin City.
Yeah,
where there's little touches of color.
That feel to it. So that's one of my favorites. Why don't we show yours?
Yeah, we'll show mine. I got this done, I think this year too. This past con when we were on our honeymoon as well. It's Spider-Gwen. And I love his style. He has a very distinct style, like almost like regal kind of. And then, he did
the composition, the line work. I mean, he's really good at putting together a cool composition.
It's very precise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's added a little bit of shadow and colors here.
What's cool about these is the artists do them pretty quickly. Like, you say, all right, this is what I'm looking for, and maybe like an hour or two later, they'll be like, oh yeah, come back to the table. Ben's like, give me your number, I'll text you when it's done, and you come back over and you're like, I can't believe you did this in like an hour or two. It's amazing.
And especially for their constantly being like stopped and bothered, by other people.
Yeah, autographs and just conversation. So in between, they're just like, oh yeah.
And a lot of times too, we'll go to cons for the entire weekend. So a lot of times when we get the sketch covers, we're here all weekend. Like if you've got stuff, before this, do it. And we're usually real flexible. Like we don't want to rush them because
definitely
we want.
And one of the things that we always tell the artists is to do you. If you give them so much direction and so much, like I want this, but it's got to look like this. It's like I don't want to micromanage someone's style. I feel like the cool thing about getting something from an artist is getting their perspective and their take on it, and it's cool to see, it for the first time and be surprised. So I think with all artists, let them be the artist, let them do their thing, and they're going to do their best work. So.
This one is so cool.
This is probably one of my favorite sketch covers ever. Master Splinter. I absolutely was blown away when I saw this. I mean,
it's so real looking.
One thing I did ask him is he just needs to have an epic tale, and it's huge. This action shot, he made some of the motion coming in from the edges, so it looks like he's running at you full tilt, about to throw down. So this is absolutely one of my favorite sketch covers ever. I was beyond blown away. Just the detail in his gi on the edges, the kind of gold colored. Just absolutely love that. He needs to be drawing Turtles books.
Yes.
And he is, he's a Turtles fanatic. He loves to draw that stuff, so I love to give artists something that they're like stoked
They're passionate about drawing.
Yeah, so absolutely. Let's move on to the next group.
Next group, we also have 3 comics of. These comics are from an artist by the name of Rich Woodall. He is a New Hampshire-based artist. We kind of became friends with him from going to cons. The first couple we went to, like, he recognized, he would recognize and remember us. And then all of a sudden we just,
nice
kind of became friends with him.
Then, like, usually when we go to cons now, we go to his booth first just to say hi and to talk with him for a while. We have become friends and just to kind of catch up and see what's been going on. And
he actually drew our save the dates for our wedding. He drew.
They came out epic. They were
like
so awesome.
Comic versions of us, and it looks like a cover.
Yep.
But Rich has he's done a lot too. He has a few indie comics that are his own. He has Johnny Ray Gun. He just recently had a book come out with Dark Horse called Kira the Alien Jungle Girl. Which was in the Dark Horse Presents, in story segments, but he just got word that they're going to make it into a graphic novel.
Yes, and it will be available as its own book. Definitely check out Kira Alien Jungle Girl. It's really a cool book.
It's really neat. And he also has done thousands of sketch cards for Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Mars Attacks, that kind of stuff.
It's pretty amazing.
And for all the artists we've talked about today, we will put links to their stuff in the comments below.
This is a lot of information to remember. So
and so you guys can check them out, because I know a lot of you guys appreciate original art. All these guys have prints for sale, always taking commissions.
Yeah. But even online, I know Ben and Rich, and I'm sure all of them take commissions online too, so you don't have to be at the con to get something.
So this is one of my favorites from Rich. I got this a couple years ago, 2015. It's Rocket and Groot, and he actually surprised me and did both the back and the front wraps around. It's really cool. This is what it looks like when it's closed. I'm always so blown away with his stuff. It's just, it's like Ben's. It's very detailed, and you can, he does a lot of intricate line work.
He's got his own style too.
He has his own style.
He's really, he's got this style that when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's Rich. So I love that, and that's the coolest thing about artists is they all have just a different take on every character. So one of the coolest parts about getting sketches is just the different takes. To see
everybody's takes. Rich is also super into the turtles. He's done a lot of turtle. I know he did a Ghost retailer variant for turtles before.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite comics. Actually, I love that.
Which that's a whole separate video.
Yeah,
but
we'll post another video about that one. He paid homage to kind of an epic cover with the Turtles book, so we have to definitely show that. We'll have to
feature that.
This next one is a little personal. So I play bass guitar in a band, and I'm also a Batman fanatic. So I was like, how cool would it be if I had a drawing of Batman playing a Fender Jazz bass, which is what I play. So check this out. It's definitely one of my favorites. Very personal, and he's on top of the building with the gargoyle, and he's just rocking out. I love the cross hatching he uses. I love the line work. Just an epic rendition of Batman.
Yeah, it's like, how often do you see your comic heroes playing instruments? It's a cool take on it. That
was the idea of just something that's unique to us. So that's another cool thing is almost sometimes surprising the artist with a cool request, something that they haven't done before.
They're like, oh, that would be awesome. Like nobody wants stuff like that,
right.
Which is a segue into
perfect segue into
this one. This is actually the first sketch cover we got in 2015. I had this Origins 2 blank, and I was like, I want to get something cool, and he's like, well, what do you like, what do you like? And I was like, I really like Harley Quinn. And obviously, the Origins is a Wolverine book.
So we're like, how do we pair the two?
How do we pair the two? So he did.
Check this out.
Harley Quinn as Wolverine.
I mean, could you imagine Harley Quinn's personality with Wolverine claws? Just an absolute.
It would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. So, and he killed it. I love the scratch marks. around the background.
Just the aggression on her face.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
It's one of my favorites too.
He pulled that together so quickly too. I was like, this should be a mashup. I mean, obviously DC Marvel, it's unlikely to happen, and some people will cringe at that whole, you know, inner publisher, like, oh, why did you do that? But I think it's super cool.
He pulled it together so well.
Yeah. Yeah, I love stuff like that, and he was stoked to do it too.
He was.
Like we said, people don't ask for unique stuff like that often, so it's cool to have fun with it. It doesn't have to make sense for the universe in my mind. It just, as long as it's fun and it touches on your fandom.
And if you like it, you know, the owner of it, if you like it, then really, to me, that's all that matters. Like, if you know you're buying the sketch cover, if you're happy with it, then that's all that matters. Like, obviously, there are some people that are like, oh, why did you do that? But it's just...
People take the franchise thing, you know, like the storyline, all that stuff, sometimes a little bit too seriously. I think the cool thing is that it can be, you know, what you want it to be.
It can be whimsical. It can be, like, fantasy. Like, obviously, that would probably never happen. Yeah. But it's cool to be like, oh, if that did happen, that's what that would look like.
Yeah. But, so we were excited to show these to you guys. It's just it's fun to show a piece of our collection. We don't have many people over our place, and we don't really get to display as much stuff as we would like. Maybe when we get a bigger place, we'll be able to do that. So it's cool to share some of this stuff with the world because we haven't really shown anybody these.
Yeah, you know, a couple of our friends are into this kind of stuff, but a majority of our friends are not. Yeah. And really none of either of our families are. So it's, you know, something that we, you know, enjoy together, but like we don't really get to show a whole lot of people or talk to a whole lot of people about because not a ton of our friends are into
So thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, guys.
Really appreciate it.
You know, let us know what your favorite was, and you know, let us know if you guys have sketch covers. Like, we love to see that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
You know, if you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more unboxing videos, subscribe. We've got a ton of neat, different stuff coming for you guys. Yeah. All right. Have a good day.
Take care, guys.